some information, direct questions it can give it. We can ask it to write a poem. We can ask it to generate a image. We can just give some blog post and ask it to summarize for us. Or else we can say that I have a Python problem. I want, please write a code for me in Python or HTML or CSS. Okay, we can say that we can translate from one language to another language. We can rephrase, etc., etc. All these things we can do with GPT, right? So these are the use cases why we use prompts basically. Okay, if I use effective prompts, I'll get the output in a efficient manner. Clear? All right. Now let us look into some examples of prompts for some direct questions. Let's say, what is the largest planet on your solar system? Now, this is a direct question that uses clear language. The LLM easily retrieves a known fact. Okay. Now, second one, write a formal email to my manager requesting time off next week, maintaining a polite and professional tone. So here, what are the inputs that we're giving for this in this prompt? What is that? Okay, formal is what? Where is this formal here? Achha, professional. Achha, write a formal email. Okay. What else? What else inputs that we're giving in this prompt? Existing time of scheduling. Maintaining a polite. No, that is the content. So how we want that to be? We are giving so we are giving two inputs here. I'm saying that the output should be in the form of a email. And second thing, the tone should be professional. It should not be like friendly, or it should not be like rude or any other thing. So we are explicitly saying that the tone should be polite and professional. Later you try, write an email, just say, write an email, I want to take a leave. Second, use this prompt, write an email in a professional tone. You will see the difference. Okay. So this is what we are giving inputs to the GPT. Now, here we are specifying the format. What is the format? The format is email. You see here, a formal email. And the style, polite and professional. You can also write different styles like, a friendly, humorous, rude, or tone like a strong tone, something like that. Okay, that is how you can generate content to write emails. Now, context based prompt. Now let's say I want to build summary, or let's say I want to build a bio for my LinkedIn. Okay, you can say, hey, here is a short bio of me. You can put all your bio. Write a LinkedIn summary based on this bio that highlights my technical skills and career achievements. So now here you provide the context and instruct the model on exactly what output is needed, like a LinkedIn bio, or let's say your Instagram bio, or wherever you want to write some bios. Okay, and you see there is something called as open-ended creative task. Now let's say you want to generate a short fantasy story about a dragon who wants to become a chef. So now here the creativity and direction is explicit. You let the model know the genre and unusual premise. Okay. Next one, explain how photosynthesis work to a 10-year-old student in 2 paragraphs. So now here you specify the audience. Who are the audience? A 10-year-old student. And the length you have specifying. What is that? 2 paragraphs. And guiding the complexity of the format. So this is how we can write prompts for simple direct questions. So all these are direct questions only. Write a formal email, give me. So all these are very direct questions. Okay. Now, couple of things that we need to keep in mind when we are generating a prompt. Okay. One is there should be clarity. That means use clear instructions and use English language. Okay, and then specificity, mention the desired output and format or style. That means I want the output in PDF. I want, now when you give instructions to the chat GPT, right? When you say that give me output in a tabular format, so it will give like a table. If you want output in a document, you can mention you want the output in a document. So we have to mention specific things. Okay, the output in Excel or else a doc or else whatever you prefer, right? Or like an image. So mention the output format. Provide the context, that means provide background information whenever it is needed. Okay, provide the background instructions whenever it is needed. And then you can also declare constraints, like you can include any rules, or let's say the limits like 100 words paragraph or 200 words paragraph, or you can suggest any style guidelines, etc. Okay, you can mention those constraints. So if you use these four parameters when you're writing a prompt, you will have a very effective, I mean the prompt would yield better results. Okay, so the best practice is that first of all you should know what is that you are expecting from your prompt. That means know your goal. Okay, if you're writing a story, or if you what you want a story from your prompt, or you want a summary, or you want a code, or you want it to explain, what is that you're expecting output. You should know your goal, and you should include the relevant details, like provide context, like we explained, provide context, or give some data as reference, or some model as a reference. And you can include some direct instructions, like specify the style, tone, format that you want. Okay, and make sure that your prompt is short and sweet. Make sure that longer prompts can be effective if you need. Okay, longer prompts can be effective if you need detail, but I'll try to avoid unnecessary filler text like the, and, is, what, where. Try to avoid unnecessary fillers in your prompt. Make sure that your prompt is short, crisp, to the point, and provide all the details that is required. Iterate. If the answer is not what you want, refine your prompt and try again. So if you have given a prompt and you got the answer that what you're not expecting, that means you have not given a proper prompt. In that scenario, the best thing for you to do is that write a different prompt and try again, so and see whether you're getting a proper prompt or not. Okay, that is basically some kind of best practices that you need to follow. Now let's see some examples using these best practices. Now if you see here, using a role play, now here the prompt is, okay, by using a role play, by mentioning a role to the prompt, you're saying you are a friendly software tutor. Okay, we are mentioning the role here. Explain how to install Python on Windows step by step. Now by specifying the role, a friendly software tutor, what happens, this basically, this prompt sets a context that guides the tone and style of the answer. So you can expect a answer like how a software engineer would give you a response. Now another example, provide 5 quick tips for improving public speaking skills. Now you're clearly stating here the number of tips that you need is 5, and for on which topic you have to give, public speaking. So this specifies, helps the model deliver a concise list. Okay, now another scenario, prompt, if you want to create a morning routine, so I want to create a morning routine that improves productivity. List the steps, the time each step should be taken, and explain why each step is important. Now you see this prompt is very clear, right? So this prompt is actually having multiple tasks. One is it is asking for a list, second is it is asking for timing, and third is it is asking why you have to do that particular task. So by being explicit, you can avoid confusion. So there should not be any confusion for the in the prompt. So if there's a confusion in the prompt, the LLM will not understand what you want exactly. Okay, so that is the reason you should avoid confusion. You should be very clear, even if you're having multiple tasks in your prompt. One more example, structuring the output. Now let's say summarize the following text in 3 bullets, 3 bullet points, focusing on the main arguments. And you can give your text like it can be 100 lines or 300 lines or whatever it is. So now here you're clearly stating, okay, you're telling the LLM exactly how to structure the output. You want that in 3 bullet points, and the focus is main argument. So the LLM will go through all the text and it will see the main arguments and it will give the 3 bullet points. Okay. Now one more example here, rewrite the following paragraph in a friendly conversational style, and you can give your paragraph here. So that means what? This prompt clarifies the task. What is the task? It is rewriting. What is the target? In a friendly conversational manner. Okay, that is how if you give the prompts in this manner where you mention the role, you can mention the tasks, you can be crisp, to the point, and you can mention the tone or style of the output that you are expecting. The prompts, the LLMs, by taking these prompts, can generate the content that we are looking for. Alright, any questions still here? Okay, now what we will see is that we will see some of the prompt examples for our language specific tasks. Now in the use cases we saw, we can use it for summarization, right? Let's see some examples for the summarization tasks. Okay, now if you see language tasks, so under language task we have summarization, translation, sentiment analysis, text classification, or paraphrasing or rewriting. Now we can use prompts to do any of this task. For an LLM to do any of this task for us, what we need to use? We need to use prompts, right? If our LLM has to do any of this task, we have to write good prompts.